Welcome to Spain. Buenos dias, Tania. ¿Qué tal?
Buenos dias. How's it going?
It's going good. It's summer. We are
It
bored in this
is.
house. The kids, I'm ready for them to go back to school, and we have another month. So, as you do too. And
We
they don't
do.
want to go back to
Yes.
school, but I'm like, please go back to school because I'm going stir crazy.
I don't really mind. The only issue that I have is that we had some expectations of things we were going to do during the summer in preparation for school.
Hmm.
Ask me how much of that has got done.
I have a feeling it's probably about 0.001% because that's where we're
There's
at.
no point. There's no one in there.
No, none.
So now we have the anticipation of school starting, which is sort of stressful because the summer will be over. But then also like a little bit of like math, a little bit of reading, and all this stuff has got to get done. So it's kind of yeah. I don't know. I suppose that stuff maybe should have got done at the beginning, but I'm the worst disciplinarian on this stuff. So now we have to try and get it done.
I'm with you. I mean, I've been telling my kids they need to get their work done and they've been okay, but I'm just gonna complain here about just the state of the world and the state of education. I resent that I have to police this stuff. Just resent it. I mean, I get the summer homework, but why does it have to be my responsibility, you know?
Yeah, I mean, we didn't get a lot. I think she had like a book she has to read or something, but it was more for us wanting to prepare because this will be the second year in a Spanish school. So we wanted to kind of go through some things and make it a bit easier going in so
Hmm.
that everything's not brand new. I mean, Zena's Spanish is great, but I think it's still the second language. So we need to kind of prepare a little bit. And then I had this brilliant idea. I thought it was a brilliant idea, as parents do, where Xena doesn't love to read. So I was like, we'll just listen to some books and get some
Hmm.
books done because I love to do that. I love to have read books and I like reading books, but I have a hard time sitting down and actually reading books. I kind of fall asleep or whatever. So I love listening on audio.
Okay.
And so I picked a book, we read it. It was like a 3 hour book. Xena picked a book. We didn't look at the time of how long this book was. It was 14 hours.
Oh.
And I was like, and I'm a parent, I'm like, I've paid for it, so we're listening to it.
Right, right. So
And that has literally taken 2 months to get through. So it kind of failed, but I think overall the idea was a good idea. But if anyone else decides to take on this idea, if they have a kid that doesn't maybe like to actually read and you can listen, it's a great idea. I think it would work. Look at how long the book is before you start.
right. Yeah, I know I wouldn't have the attention span for 14 hours. I actually don't have the attention span for audiobooks. I can't do them. I've tried. My mind is too space cadetty. So, like when I lived in LA and people are like, "Oh, audiobooks in your car." I'm like, "No, my mind's all
Mm-hmm.
over the place. Like I can listen for about 5 minutes and it's like stop, rewind, stop, rewind. What did they say? Who's the character?" So
But that's
I
what happens when I read. I can literally read and not be paying attention,
Oh,
and then
wow.
realize that I've actually been reading the lines and I haven't actually been taking it in. But I
Mhm.
can listen to a book when I'm driving, when I'm walking blaze, when I'm like cleaning or whatever. So I kind of, for me, that does work. But yeah, it's different for different people.
Yeah, we're all
Should
different.
we maybe get into our Spain before we
Oh yeah,
get
do you
too
have an
far? Because
Spain
we
for
didn't do
us?
that.
I feel like this is like, we're coming into a theme. We forget our Spains right in the beginning.
Yeah, we just forget everything. Asked you what? I forget everything. He went out the other day to do something, and then he told me the two things he was going to do. And after I knew he had done the first one, he didn't come home for like another half an hour, and we had to leave. And I was like texting him, like, "Where are you?" And he's like, "I literally told you exactly what I was doing." And I went in one ear and out the other.
So, do you
Oh
have an
my goodness.
Spain for us then?
Yeah, it's a I don't know what it is. It was not a terribly pleasant experience, but not necessarily Spain's fault, but just an overall. This was a summer travel scenario where Zena and I got stuck at Stansted Airport coming back from England,
Mm-hmm.
and it was we were supposed to fly out at like 5:30 in the afternoon,
Mm-hmm.
and like you get the I suddenly got this notification on my phone that was like Ryanair is giving you like 350 to go get something to eat, and I was like, why are they doing that? Like that's not something they would do just for the hell of it, right?
Right.
Like happy summer, like that's not their
Right.
brand.
Right. Ryanair's not in the business to give you stuff. No.
No, not at all. So, so I was like, my last experience with Ryanair was at the when we were going on to another flight, and there was someone in the at the gate that was literally checking everybody's bags, right, and just causing absolute stress at the gate, and it was just terrible. And anyway, so we're at the I get this, and and then I look at the time, and our flight had been pushed to like 11 o'clock at night.
Mm-hmm.
And we had already been at the airport since 1 o'clock or something, because we have to catch a bus or a train from where my mom lives, but it's not that far, but there's only so many, and it's only so many
You
trains
got a
and
plan.
buses. So
You got a plan. You have a
yeah, you got to
strategy.
get the, and I would prefer that to get early,
Right.
and yeah, the plan and the strategy and went out the window.
Right.
so so and guess what you can get at Stansted Airport for £3.50.
um, Directions to where the water fountain is.
Yes. Oh, which was also broken.
Oh God.
So there was one fountain working, and there was a line around like the whole airport to get to that water fountain. Anyway, so we get this, and oh my God. So our flight got delayed till 11 o'clock, and that was already quite a long time, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because we'd been at the airport at that point since probably 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock.
You
or
put in a
something.
full work shift. You saw
We
you got to
have.
see people come and leave work.
Right. Yeah, exactly. And then something was very interesting that happened. And then we saw another flight to Valencia leave,
On
which
the
was
same airline.
super weird, on the same airline.
Okay.
And no one had offered us any seats on that plane, but you probably have to be proactive to actually look and realize there's another flight going. But we were just sitting at this one gate where they have lots of seats and thinking, okay, yeah, we can. Wait, there's a flight to Valencia. Oh well.
Right.
So the interesting thing that happened was that we got I think the delay. Then our flight got further delayed because airports close, and Valencia is actually a small airport. And even Stansted has a time when things close and the restaurants restock, and so there's not a lot of flights, maybe out of Heathrow or somewhere, or Dallas or somewhere like that. But I mean, in most airports, they're closing.
Close. Yeah.
At least for a few hours to kind of maybe clean the bathrooms, I don't know, restock restaurants, change shifts, I mean, things like that. So
Right.
Valencia, I would imagine Valencia is probably closed from around 11 o'clock at night, maybe a bit later, I don't know, until maybe 4 o'clock in the morning when the Ryanair flights start again. If it could be
Right.
really busy at 4 o'clock in the morning. And so what happened was our flight then ended up in this weird phase, like space where we couldn't actually take off at 11 o'clock.
Because you'd
we
have
got
nowhere to
Valencia.
land.
There would be nowhere to land, no one to take our bags, no one to do our passport control, no one to do anything, right?
Right.
So I guess what they decided was it's better for us to be stuck at Stansted than try, I don't know, what would we be doing? Circling the Valencia airport? I don't know what would
Right.
happen at that hour. So we ended up getting into Valencia at 4 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, that's
it
painful.
Was,
That hurts.
it was so long.
So one of the joys of living in Europe is you can go fly to all these countries and have no jet lag. And you literally
have
then,
jet
if you
lag.
get off a plane at 4 o'clock in the morning and have been at an airport for 10 hours, you're going to have jet lag for a day or two because your body clock is completely off, right?
100% correct. It took me days because I went, we got home at like 5 o'clock or something, and I tried to go back to sleep. I couldn't go to
can't.
sleep. So I did end up getting I maybe got an hour in the plane. I'm not very good at sleeping in the plane. And then I maybe got another couple of hours in the morning. Yeah, it took me days. It took me days and days to recover from
And it's
that.
a 2-hour flight. It's not like you can get a lot of sleep on that flight anyway. It's not like it was a red
No,
eye.
exactly. And you're bored. I mean, the funny thing is by the time it got to like midnight, the only people left in Stansted Airport was our flight, because all the other flights that were scheduled had left. So
Right.
you are left with everybody from your flight, and you start making friends, which is quite fun. But I met some nice people, but still, I'm like, I would rather be in bed right now, which I
Right.
was supposed to be.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, so that was fun.
You're reminding me of something that happened to me this summer with our travels. Not chaos, but when we were leaving London to come back to Valencia, I'm like you. I like to get to the airport good 2.5 hours at least before the flight because scheduling, I'd rather just be relaxed, get a drink, get a soda for the kids, get a sandwich or
Right.
something for the flight. I don't want to run
I
around,
hate
especially with
rushing through
kids.
airports.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's not fun.
And I'd rather have 2 hours of nothing to do than 30 minutes of running, dashing, and screaming because
With you.
security took 2 hours or something, right?
Because you
But
can't predict that,
you can't
right?
predict that. But we were still in London before we needed to leave, and I got notices on my phone from EasyJet saying your flight's been delayed. It was delayed by like 30 minutes. I was like, oh, well, cool. Because I had scheduled, oh, well, if we do miss that train I planned, we can take the one 30 minutes later and we still have our time, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
And so we're going about our morning. I'm still planning on catching the train we were originally going to catch. However, we're leaving and then like we get on the train and it said, oh, your flight's no longer delayed. Now that to me should be against the law. You can't tell someone their flight's delayed and then be like, no, it's no longer delayed.
I've never seen that happen. That's crazy. No, that shouldn't be allowed because that's kind of like a tease, isn't it?
Well, it's like if you've already like planned, like, oh, well, it's delayed 2 hours, I'm not going to worry about, like, I have to cancel the cab or
Right?
whatever. Now
Yeah, or
you're
maybe somebody was going to drive you to the airport and now they can't because you've like yeah, no, that shouldn't be allowed. Yeah.
it's ridiculous. So I was
I've
very,
also never yeah, I've also never had that happen.
neither have
That's
I. And I was like,
extremely
how could this even
unusual.
be possible?
Well, speaking of laws,
Laws. Should we talk about them? What do we know?
speaking of
So,
laws,
so
there is a law related to having a flight as delayed as ours was.
okay.
And if you ever have this happen to you, it needs to be 3 hours or more late. And it also has to be the airline's fault. So I don't know where that lies. And um, I'm sure there's a lot of loopholes for the airlines in that particular point of the law. But if you're more than 3 hours late, they have to compensate you. And it depends on the distance of how much you get. I don't think the time makes any difference. If you're over 3 hours, I think that's it. And then there's a distance. So if you're in Europe, I don't know if they have any law like this in America, but in Europe and in the UK, there is a law that requires the airline to compensate you for the delay. And it is the
Mm,
minimum is €250. So
gotcha.
that's not too shabby. And
No,
there
it's
was
not too
actually,
shabby.
which
America has nothing like that. America doesn't
I
care.
don't
You're
think
never
so.
getting anything,
Yeah.
But I
No,
don't know how much of it has to necessarily be exactly the airline's fault, right? Because I think weather would be something, but I think there's
I mean, I felt like Stansted is a London airport. They market themselves as a London airport. Ryanair is a big hub there. Ireland's not that far away. With I don't know where they keep all their planes, but it seemed like it took really a long time for them to get a new plane to us.
right. Yeah,
Like it
that would be their
maybe
fault for sure,
yeah,
right?
exactly. So minimum 250, 250, and then the way that what was interesting, it was like 4 o'clock in the morning when we landed, and there was an organization of some sort that was outside the airport when we went out that was handing out flyers of like this is how you get compensated and stuff. And I don't know if that's an organization that if you do it through them they get paid a little bit. I don't know. So just be careful, but it's super easy. I mean, I just applied through Ryanair. There's a place on their website, and
Okay.
that was immediately you can sort of just file a thing, and it even had it.
Did
It even had
Ryanair
like
tell you to file it, or is that just
no,
something
no,
you knew?
no, no. No one's gonna tell you to file
Oh, okay.
it. Yeah, but everybody was quite informed at the airport, and somebody that I met on the airport sent me a link as well. But it was like this is you can do it through your Ryanair account, and I think if you had an account with any other airline, you should be able to do it directly on the website where you bought the ticket.
Okay.
Not if you bought it through like a third party, but if you bought it through any of these other airlines, it should be quite easy to apply. So there's some advice. Make sure you know if it happens to you, but it doesn't happen very often.
Well, and my recommendation, I'm going to throw in my own 2 cents because you brought it up
Mm-hmm.
about these third party websites. I would like to let our listeners know you should never book anything through a third party site. You should look at the third party sites for the prices and then go to the airline and go to the hotel and go to that because that's how you're going to protect yourself most consumer wise if there's any hiccups along the way.
That is 100% true. Yeah. I mean, I have sometimes used them. I've sort of stopped using them because I think now these things have got significantly cheaper. And if you don't necessarily have to fly at a certain time and you're flexible, you can find decent prices if you're just hopping around Europe for sure.
Right.
I've used them before and I've got on the flights and it's all been fine. But like you said, if anything goes wrong and you've done it through a third party, you're out.
You're out.
Like
You're
for
like
whatever it
you're
is.
in bureaucratic hell trying to figure out who you contact about getting a refund. And like
Right.
those third party sites even say that we're not responsible. So it's like, you know.
Yeah, it's a risk that you need to take. If you need to take it, that's a risk you're taking, which is that if your flight is canceled or whatever, or you want to change the flight, there's just no way to do that properly without
Right.
defaulting all the money that you paid. So that was our entertainment coming back from England. We were at the airport for a good, I don't know, 13, 12 hours or
Oof,
something like
that's just, I mean, you could have been
that.
to Australia.
We could have. I could have gone back to LA and hung out with some friends there.
Exactly. Well, I am sorry you went through that.
Yes. Yeah. I think it was, yeah.
I
Well,
mean,
you
this
know, you gotta
episode
have
is
these
kind of
stories.
talking about summer boredom, and there you were bored for
There
12
we were.
hours with your whole.
Right.
Well, between the two of you, you had £7 to spend. You could have gotten a soda and half a candy bar for that, no?
A soda and a candy bar?
Half a candy bar. Half a
There you
candy
go.
bar.
I feel like that what they compensate you with should be actually a sandwich. You know what I mean?
It should be like a meal voucher. It should be like you
It
should be
should
able to take
be.
this to Burger King and you get one Happy Meal or one, you
Exactly.
know.
Or you get a sandwich at Pret or something. I mean, there just should be some kind of like a whole thing.
Right. Yeah.
But it was not, it was nice to have something. So I guess I shouldn't complain, but yeah.
Well, now that you're
Definitely
back
not.
and we're in August,
God,
how are
yeah.
you dealing with it? Because for me, I love the city in August. We moved here in July 3 years ago. August was like our first month, right? We moved in the middle of July getting settled, and then we settled in August, and we were like, this city is magical. It's dead. It's empty. Like it was so
It's
quiet.
lovely, isn't it?
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
September rolls around, and you're like, wait, what happened? Where are all these people coming from? So we're in that right now where when we do leave the house, it's been a little hot this summer and never going below 90. So we've been inside a lot, but I go out and I'm like, it's so wonderful to be in the city because it's dead. It's the only month of the year where there's no fireworks going off, nothing on the schedule. And it's just peaceful. The gym, you can go to the gym any time of day. There's three
Oh,
people in
wow,
there.
that's nice.
And
Yeah. And your gym probably has air conditioning.
it's not the best, but yes, it does.
Okay.
But
Finish how delightful the city is. I'll share about the pueblos.
well, I will have to say, I want to ask you because I've talked about it before. This Fallas in English website that gives you the schedule of all the pyrotechnics in the state of
Hmm.
Valencia. And I was like looking to see, because I have a friend coming in a couple weeks in August to see if there's any fireworks while he's here. And
Oh yeah, just come here. Just come here.
there's nothing in the city, but I see all the towns are ablaze. So,
They are. And we're not talking about our dog.
right.
So, August is the party month for all the towns outside of the city. It is when everything is happening, everything is I mean, we have all the stuff that you have the rest of the year, right? So we
Right.
still have our fireses and all this and all the things that you're celebrating in the city are also happening out here throughout the year. But August in both the city or both the towns that I've lived in are just a absolute party town. Like and we're not talking like an event on Saturday. It is Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And then
Right.
and then when we were living in the urbanization up in the mountains, they had an August, like a 3 week festival, which was, parties for the kids, parties for the adults, paella contests, like, just everything was going on every single day. And it was disco night every night. And we were lucky that we just were around the hill from where the center little cafe was. So we
Hmm.
didn't get the boom, boom, boom every night.
Right.
But the people
Right.
that lived in the center of our urbanization, that was your night every night for 3 weeks in August was the
Oh,
disco.
ouch, right.
And it's still, I mean, music is just, I mean, any kind of I saw a post that somebody posted about the noise of the summer, And it is more noisy if you're somewhere because everyone has their windows open at night, and all the sound just travels. If your neighbors are having a party, if there's a party going on in town, it's
Hmm.
just traveling, everywhere. And we had the Corofort last night, which I missed because I was up in Nakara actually. and I
And if anyone's listening, last week's episode was literally about
Yeah.
Fox. So
Yeah. So if you want to go back and see what that is, we had one here last night. I was like, oh, I'm going to get to that. It was at 11 o'clock. And I actually found a schedule. Somebody texted me a schedule of what one of these things goes on, which,
mhm.
if you've ever listened to us, there's never a schedule for anything. And somehow I got this schedule. And I was like, oh, I want to see that. But we were up and being Spanish and didn't get home till 1 o'clock in the morning, which is way past my bedtime. So I did miss it. So I'll try it again. But yeah, it's party, party, party. They're out in the streets. They're drinking all day. They're doing the Corofox and stuff at night. They're doing the bull running in the streets at night in
Right.
certain areas in the old part of town.
Yeah, it's
And
not
then
just
along with
Pamplona
that,
people. They do it in a lot of
oh,
pueblos in this country. They
yes, lots all over the place.
yeah.
And they always set off some not fireworks, but the banger, the big banger ones, like the really loud one.
You like the
They'll put that
mascletas or
kind of like a mascleta. Yeah, they'll
hmm.
do that at the beginning and the end. So
Oh,
poor
okay.
Blaze is not enjoying that. So it's just like it's a party. It's a party all day Saturday, all through the night. Sunday, same thing. Friday night, I think, and then they start all over again the next weekend. So it just is on,
Right.
and it's all through August, and it's as hot as hell on top of it. So you got to drink, I guess.
You got a drink. Hope you have air
Yeah,
conditioning. And I swear I mean, I know global warming is happening around the globe. And
yeah.
but each summer is hotter and it just isn't breaking. I swear this whole summer it hasn't gone below 90 except for like at
No,
night.
and for us, it's been, I mean, thank God for air conditioning because it's been the humidity. Like, and
Right.
also I feel like because now we have air conditioning, which we didn't before because we were up in the mountains and it was okay. Now we're like cold and then hot and then cold and then hot. And that is also hard, I think, on your body trying to acclimatize to the weather.
And it's not even just hot and cold, it's hot and wet, cold and dry. So
Hmm.
it's a complete
Right.
climate change, right? It's not like you at
Yeah.
least are humid in both environments. It's.
Right. Yeah, because I mean, my plants are happy because I've got buckets of water that I'm pouring on the plants every night from my air
Mhm.
conditioner. So they're happy. So I'm keeping my plants alive. They might be getting too much, but it's fun. So August outside of the city and outside of the city is a party. If you're anywhere
Right.
outside of the city, probably you're getting a big party every weekend and lots going on. And because we live in areas where this is where people have lived for generations, right?
Hmm.
So there are a few foreigners where we live, but it's mostly a town where people have lived for generations, and everybody knows each other, and they're all part of these groups, and these groups are the ones these I don't know what you call them. They're like organizations that have been going on for
Just like
for
the little neighborhood
generations.
groups, like the Caso Fallas, those kind of places, right? Like
Yeah,
kind of like
exactly. But they have the Sand Rock.
mountains.
Yeah, so they have the Sand Rock, which is they were the ones that organized, I think, the bulls and stuff, and it's the young men. So the young men are doing stuff over there, and the ladies are over here doing their thing. And I think it's a way for people to kind of just separate and hang out with their friends. And so I think it's really fun for people here because it is a lot of people are off from work
Hmm.
and they're not going anywhere. Like I have a lot of friends that go to other parts of Spain where they're from or other countries that they're from in the summer because the kids are out of school. But everybody here is from here, so why not have a big party?
Right, right. And there's nothing going on in the
Yeah.
city, so why go into the town, right? So,
Right, right. Well, you still have your museums, and there's still stuff to do. I still want to come down and take a bike ride through the Toria one day. Things that was
well,
on my
now's the
list of
time to do it
things to
because no
do.
one's here. I mean, we went to
Mm-hmm.
the movies on Thursday night, and the movie got out like at 11:30, and the movie theater's in the center of town, right? It's right off the plaza on Numanta. And we get out, and the girls and I were like, "It's dead." Like if we were to leave the movie at Thursday in
Mm-hmm.
October at 11, the town would be packed with revelers, right? And people walking
Right.
around the city, and it was dead. Like no one was out on the streets.
Is it mostly tourists then? Is it people coming in? Like when you walk around, do you hear more foreign languages? Because it is literally just people that have come in as tourists for the summer
I
and
mean, I
everybody
think
that's
so,
local
but
has
yeah, because
left.
I mean, those are pretty much the only feet on the streets are the tourists.
Yeah.
You hear a lot of Dutch being spoken, a lot of German
Mm-hmm.
being spoken. However, it's not like you see a lot of them. That's just the only people you see, right? So the
Right.
streets are
So normal amount, but the Spanish have all left for the mountains at least. And this is the only place I've ever lived where I understand why people have a second home 20 minutes from their first home. Because
hmm
in 20 minutes, you're up in the mountains, there's much lower humidity up there. This is where all the Spanish that have the ability in Valencia are now up in the mountains up there, probably.
right.
Because where we lived, I mean, Nakara as a town, I think 30,000 people plus in the summer that
hmm
come in from because they have summer houses and stuff up there. And I know, and you know why? Because up there you have a pool, you have less humidity, and it's just a much more pleasant
Right.
summer experience, I think.
And
But
even
yeah,
in the
so I can
suburb
see.
towns, like the towns that are really close to the city, those are like their
Hmm.
vacation homes. And it's, you're like, but that's just a 10-minute drive outside the city. You know, like
Right.
it's like, they're like, no, we live in the city. And on the weekends, we go to this house that's 5 minutes
Yeah.
away, right? Like it's
Yeah,
so,
because yeah, we have a whole part of our town that's by the beach, and it's all apartments, and
right,
that's all second home apartments, beach apartments, which
right.
I would totally do. I could totally see doing
I wish I
that.
could do that.
Right? So yeah, so I mean that's I think I think it makes sense, but it definitely a different party out here than you're having then,
Yeah,
which
I
is
mean, we're not
funny.
having one. I mean, it's been, I
Yep.
mean, I do love it. I just love the
Hmm.
city this time of the year. I really
It's
do.
amazing.
Yeah. And I feel like we own it, right? So I feel
Yeah.
like it's when we walk around, it feels like Disneyland is closed for the day when you're walking around,
That's
right?
exactly what it feels like. Yeah. Like I have access and no one's here.
Yeah. And so the museums are kind of slow. So yeah, there's tourists here, but it's not like there's more tourists here.
Yeah.
Um it's but we go to the museums and it's quiet and the movie was like I said, the movie, not just the streets, the movie itself wasn't that busy. On a Thursday night, you'd think it would be, and it was a brand new movie. We went to go see Spider-Man, so
Right.
you'd think it would have been packed. Nope, not at all.
Nope, not a thing. Well, you know what was funny too was because when we had the bulls running here, I didn't want to go down for it because it's not my thing, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm that's just not my thing at all. And but I was like, I kind of want to see what it is one time,
Right.
and they actually televised it on Saturday. So I was like, perfect. I don't want to get involved in all that, and I don't know how it works. And I was watching it on television, and because a local station like came and like
Did
followed
they
it
like
and we
televise
were
the whole thing, or was it like a news report, or were they actually showing the?
no, they were actually there at the time that it was happening and it was
Mm-hmm.
being broadcasted live.
Okay.
So it was like really interesting to see kind of how it works, but also I don't ever need to see it again, but I was like I just wanted to be educated in what it is because I saw a bullfight once when I was like 17 and that was enough.
Mm-hmm.
And this so I'm like I just want to be educated in what I'm having an opinion on and done.
Okay.
But it was very one of the things I didn't know, which I thought was interesting, and I might be the only person that doesn't know this, but they put up these gates at the end. So they have an area in the middle of the town. It's not like the bulls are just running everywhere. They have an area
Right.
in the middle of town where they put up all the doors get things put in front of them and then they have gates across the street that get put up
Mm-hmm.
and then so therefore you have an enclosed area where the bulls can run around.
Right.
I didn't realize that those gates had a width that was a width of the where the bars are that was designed for a person to be able to get through but not the bull.
Yes.
I
Yes.
didn't know that. I was like, oh my God, if you're inside, you're stuck, right? That's what I thought. I thought if you were inside, you better know where
No,
your
no,
place
it's
is to
design.
jump
Yeah,
up
yeah.
to. Yeah,
We.
yeah, because I've never watched anything. I've never
Mm-hmm.
watched any of it. So this was my first time seeing it. And I was like, oh, okay, that's actually really smart. But these people have been drinking all day. So I don't know how anyone's not getting just like, because they're standing with their backs to where they know the bull is going to
Oh
be
yeah,
coming
yeah,
from.
yeah.
And they're just chatting like in the square. And then suddenly there's a bit of a commotion and everybody runs,
Everyone
right? And it's
runs.
like,
I don't
it's
know how there's
crazy.
not more deaths and maimings. I mean, they do happen, but it's a very small number to what I think it
Yeah.
should be, right? The actual human energy.
compared to how much I know they're drinking,
Right.
I just don't understand. I mean, I don't understand it because they seem quite alert, and that just goes against what I know is happening down there.
Yeah.
So, I mean, everyone's there to have fun and they're having a good time, and so yeah, I would say this is crazy,
It
but
really is.
yeah.
But yeah, we've watched a bunch of those videos, before we moved here, and as we've moved here to find out the different things that happen in these towns, and
Hmm.
it is how they, yeah, it's we learned about the bars. We learned about
Yes, I
how.
did. Yeah, I've sort of tried to stay away from it. And then in England, I was trying to set my mum's TV up for like regular TV, and it's impossible now because you have to, all the channels are on an app. So I couldn't figure out how to actually get the TV going with just like, I would just want a guide, like old school, like that my
Right.
mom can flip through and find things. And it's like, no, it's all apps. And I was like, there has to be a way to do this. And I gave up.
No, it's frustrating, and our apartment actually has the plugs and things for the antenna that's on top of the building, and
Hmm.
someone's like, no, if you really want the local news, plug into the antenna and you can get like that live feed, which of course you're not gonna. I mean, I don't know how that works. I've never done it.
Well, I got it through Movie Star. So, but we have a TV box. So this is what I learned, but what I don't like. So, at my mom's house in England, she has also the cable thing, but you can't buy the cable anywhere.
Hmm.
You have to go on to like Amazon and buy it because there's no shop that sells
You
an
don't have the
antenna
Chinese
cable.
stores in England like you do
No,
here.
no. Well, there are some stores like that, but they're not selling no one's buying an antenna cable these days. So
Right.
they're not stocking that because it's a special like male female on thing. So you're not buying that anywhere. So I never got around to ordering that cable. But here, when we got Movie Star, we got they hooked up the TV box. So we have a Wi-Fi box and then we have a TV box, and that TV box is plugged directly into our TV. And through that, we actually have a guide where we can flip through, and I found the channel for where that was being broadcast because it was one of the local channels. So I can watch all the local news and get Comedy Central and all sorts of things in Spanish
Hmm.
on that guide. But which I don't like, so I am probably going to change it at some point. Movie Star has the interface that first comes onto your TV. They play music on it and you can't turn it off. So the
Oh,
second your TV comes on, it's like blaring music at you if you forget to like put it
mute
on
it.
mute or
Yeah.
something. And there's no way to stop it. And it's so obnoxious. And I don't understand why you'd want to piss off all your customers like that because you can't
Hmm.
even pick what music you want. It's just music like
Oh,
blaring
that's
at you.
annoying.
It's really annoying. So I'm actually probably eventually we're going to get rid of the box and maybe Movie Star because of that. So
Well,
that's my thing on
I'm not
that.
here to promote anyone, but we have Orange's like our full everything, right? Orange is our
Hmm.
phone, it's our internet, it's so with our internet, we don't have a separate box. It just comes to our TV through Orange, right?
Right.
So
So you'll probably have so what you probably have is a Wi-Fi box, and your TV is pulling Wi-Fi from Orange, and then you can use whatever
right,
you
and then
have an
there's like an
interface on
Orange
your
app on the
TV.
TV that has the guide and all the
Exactly.
channels.
And
I
that's
just
what I
don't know.
have to switch to.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
just don't know what the channels are for the local news. I'm trying to figure that out.
But
Um,
you might need that TV box from Orange in order to have a guide on your TV and get the local stations.
No, we
Otherwise,
have
you
the
need an
guide.
app.
We have a full guide, the cable. I just don't know what the
Okay.
channels are because we're not really. And I don't know if there isn't a cable box to get from, like a TV box to get from Orange. It's in that app that's on your TV.
Well, there might be because we can do both. So I can get a Movie Star app, and then it only plays music if I open that app to go into Movie Star TV and stuff. Or I
Hmm.
could open Netflix or whatever directly from my smart TV, right? But because I have the box, it pulls directly to this Movie Star interface. Not ideal. But I could do it the other way and take the box out and use a stick or something
Mm.
and just use apps on the thing. So if you like the local station that was playing this was number 10. It was which funnily enough was 8 Mediterranean
So what
channel.
is the name
So
of the local channel so I could look that up?
it was 8 Mediterranean.
8 Med.
But
Okay, I'm gonna look that up
8
to
Med,
see where that shows up.
but it was number 10
Okay.
on our guide. just to
Well, I'm writing that
confuse
down.
me.
8 med. I will look at our guide to see if that shows
See
up.
what's going on. Yeah. So I mean, yeah, like so you're on the right. I think I need to set up our TV the way you have it, which is just some other like use the TV for the interface
And then
rather
we
than
have a
what you saw.
Samsung TV, which has its own TV guide app. So it
Oh
has its
wow.
own
Okay.
channels and shares some of the channels with like
Mm-hmm.
the orange, like the basic news and stuff, but it's
Yeah.
completely random. And that came with the TV, which we don't pay for. I don't
Mm.
understand how any of this works, but I do
But
miss.
you should be getting everything through the Wi-Fi, and that should give you all the local stations and enough. I mean, we've got some local planet ones and these sorts of
Right.
nature channels and stuff, and you can flip through and see some cool stuff.
Yeah, we'll
Highly
I'm gonna
recommend.
check. We'll touch base. Maybe we'll do a TV episode on this one. Let's
Yeah,
put a
because I'll
pin
need to
in
look
this
through.
and do some
Yeah.
research, and then maybe we could have an informative episode for people.
Yes, God forbid we have an informative episode on something.
Oh, we can do it every once in a while.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I do want to say something though about the summer boredom, and maybe we've mentioned it before. And I mean, I know we've mentioned before about how inexpensive the movies are here.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know how often you go to the movies. But in the city, the two big theaters, they have discounted rates for like Monday through Thursday. And they also have a membership rate that you don't pay for the membership. You just sign up for it. And it takes a
Mm-hmm.
couple euros off each ticket. And so
Oh, that's good.
the three of us to go to Spider-Man and we got three popcorns and three drinks came to 33 euros. I mean, that's
That's
insanely
really
cheap.
good. Yeah. I mean,
Like,
that I always find like the food is still more than you want to spend, the food and drinks when you get there, but the tickets, yeah, like we usually go to Kineopolis, I don't know how you say it,
mm-hmm.
Kineopolis over out in Heron City. They have a nice movie theater there, and they're the only place outside of the city that does also original versions if we want to watch in English.
Mm-hmm.
But um we go there, and I think they have cheaper tickets on Wednesdays.
Okay.
So, and they're like €5 or something a person. I mean, it is, you can definitely, if you don't care when you go, get some really good ticket prices for sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
So
the theaters
I
are
mean,
nice. I mean, I don't know what the one that you go to. I'm assuming it's a nice theater. The
oh yeah,
Kineopolis is a very
Cinelist.
nice
We go to
theater.
Cinelist, sometimes ABC. It's their movie theaters. It's nice. The Cinelist is big theaters.
It's not the LA like kind of sofa
Yeah,
like
it's not the
lazy
grand stadium
boy.
seating, but those are down
Yeah.
in the Aqua Mall has the stadium seating. However, we never go down there, and I don't know if things have changed. But the last time we looked to go to a movie down there, they don't
Mhm.
have any of the Vose screenings, the
Oh, okay.
English language screenings, and maybe that's changing. Maybe that's changed. That maybe they have more
Yeah.
now, but they
But
weren't
also,
2 years ago.
we wanted to go see like Minions or Spider-Man, and I was thinking, I think I can watch that in Spanish because I don't think those storylines are going to be brain surgery, you know?
Right, right.
So
Well,
maybe it's an
yeah.
opportunity to practice some Spanish.
Maybe
I
Minions.
can
I mean,
probably
Spider-Man
follow it.
has more dialogue, but
Yeah.
but
But it's not like you're not going to know what's going on, is it?
yeah, true. I would have just. This is totally random, but you brought up Spider-Man and the dialogue and stuff. When I was sitting watching Spider-Man, which I enjoyed, but I was laughing to myself that Tom Holland is this big star of this movie, and
Mm.
literally he's in it for about 10 minutes because
Really?
most of its time is the costume and CGI. So you're like, he's getting
Oh.
paid a lot, but he's got literally no screen time and acting time going on. Most of the movie is him flying around in the costume, you know,
Oh,
not even
interesting. Well,
speaking.
good. That's a good gig for him then.
Yeah, perfect gig.
And I had never thought about that, but yeah, I guess, when you with Spider-Man, you're really completely covered,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
And a lot of it is
Interesting.
voiceover. It's mostly voiceover work
Right.
because he's in the costume, which that's not him in the costume. You know what I
Right.
mean? That's
Well,
a body double.
we went back to watch, maybe we should save this for our TV, but we went back to watch some of the Spider-Man ones, and I was a little like unimpressed by the glossiness of it. I think they were
Hmm.
trying to be like kind of grungy in the way they were shooting it, but it really made it look like a very low budget movie, which I thought was a really interesting choice for
Mm.
something that is clearly not a low budget movie.
Right, right.
So I
Well,
don't know what the new one's like. We probably will eventually make it, but we might get we do love our minions. So I will check in with you next time on which one we actually make it to, because we probably won't make it to both.
Okay, well, we're gonna go see the Odyssey this week. That's the other one, so we can check in and
Oh,
then we can do.
that's too much for me.
It's long. Well, I mean, and Spider-Man's long. It's 2.5 hours long, so it
No, not
is.
the length, just the fighting and the
Uh, different households. Remember that.
yeah, very. We have very very different
If I said to
viewing
my kids, "Let's go see
designs.
Minions," they would form a mutiny in this house.
Oh my god, we love our minions. They're just so adorable.
But it was funny you said last night. I said to the girls, I'm like, we're running out of things to watch, right? It's getting to like
Mm.
there's nothing left to watch, and I was like, why don't we just throw in an old Disney movie, like just something stupid? And they were like,
You're thinking something that you used to watch and love, right?
yeah, and they're like, oh, do we have to? And I'm like, oh, come on, just no. So
No, very different households.
very
Next
different,
time,
yes.
I'll catch you up on what we're watching. On another note, completely, but related to other things we were talking about, I was trying to figure out ways to escape the heat. And I will say, I had a friend that uh, likes to bike a lot. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to get my bike out because maybe some wind in my hair and some
Hmm.
breeze, even if I have to create it, would be what I need to do. And I waited till like 7, 8 o'clock at night, but it's still hot. I mean, it's not like we're not getting these cooler nights.
Right
So
now.
but it was the most delightful thing. I got on the bike, I rode my bike down to the beach, which I can get to, and maybe it takes me about 15 minutes to ride the bike down to the beach. And
Well, and
it was
I'm
a
assuming it's totally flat, so it's easy, right?
it's pretty flat. Yeah, I mean, I there's it's mostly flat because I was thinking there has to be a little bit of a dip down to the water, and I was thinking, gosh, I wonder if coming back's going to be really hard because you sometimes you don't notice. And I
Right.
hadn't ridden down because we moved. I didn't have a bike until recently, so I haven't done this. I've walked down to the beach, but I wouldn't notice the small incline.
Right.
But actually it was pretty much the same going back and forth, which was great because I was sort of anticipating maybe a bit more work coming back, and it really wasn't. But the breeze going down, and actually it was quite a breezy day at the beach, and there was lots of sort of white horses on the water, so it was rough and a bit breezy once I got down there. So it
Hmm.
was a delight. And I was going through the orange fields, and
Oh, lovely.
that was my little path, so I wasn't dealing with cars.
Is there like
And
a bike path, or is it the road that you were on? It was just a.
there's a lot of farm roads
Okay.
that go out of the town in all different directions and sort of bypass all the actual
So
roads. So
it's like
you
a,
could
it's like a, what's that, under the Tuscan sun kind of moment for you on
totally,
your bike?
yes. Yes. And of course, usually out there's a lot of people walking dogs and walking and doing things, but not in this heat. So
Right.
I bumped into maybe a couple of other people on bikes, but that's it. And you can take the road like through the commercial area directly, like the actual road directly to the beach. And there's a bike path that goes along the side of the road
Oh, okay.
there. But it's not the prettiest ride because you are
Right.
going through commercial stuff. And so I take the orange fields, which is longer, but all the farm roads that go around the orange fields so the farmers can get to their fields is what you're going through. And then there's a little tunnel that goes under the autovia, under the
Hmm.
freeway. So you just pop underneath there, and then you come out into more farm roads that go around the orange fields, and then eventually you get out onto the beach area. So it was a really nice ride. It was way cooler because you're obviously going, and it was just a nice way to spend like a couple of hours. And it was delightful,
Hmm.
absolutely delightful. So even though it's really hot, I'm going to try and do that more often. Hopefully, that's my goal.
Well, I would love to say I would join you, but I don't own a bike.
Well, maybe you can join me. We can all go. I mean, you may not want to do this, but I do want to do the Toria thing. But I think what we would do is rent bikes from somewhere in the city and just go down
Right.
rather than trying to drag bikes down into the city. I could ride my bike into the city because we're not that far, and there's probably a bike path or these little farm roads
Oh,
that
I
take
have.
us
There's a
almost
woman
directly
from my
there.
bus stop. I'm a friend of mine from the bus stop, and she's one of these people we're never ever going to be. So, I mean, not to
Mm-hmm.
talk bad about us, but we're never going to be someone that wears bike clothes to the bus stop because we're going to
No,
bike for 20 miles after we drop our
no.
kid off at the bus stop. But she's one of those women, and she rides her bike like up into the mountains and then back into the city. And I'm like, oh,
Oh
well,
yeah, for sure.
I'm
Yeah.
like,
Because this Nakara, for instance, is a massive, I mean, that that town is like they do a really good job of doing it, but they're closing the roads every other week for bike trials and things that they do up there. So it's a big thing to ride your bike because there's a bike path along the side of the road all the way up.
There's a bike
very
path
serious.
from the city that will take you all the way
Yeah.
up through the mountains and back to the city and never get hit by a car.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's probably Nakara that she's doing because it's right there. And I will say the Spanish take their bicycle riding very, very seriously. And there's bike paths everywhere and it's delightful. I don't really have a reason to ride my bike into the city. There's no reason to do that when I'm already out. Why not I would always just ride my bikes through the orange fields into the beach. But yeah, I think if you live in the city, that's a nice ride. And you do the up part. So when we lived in Nakara, I was like, I should ride a bike, but I'm like, no, because I'm going to do the downhill first.
Oh yeah, you never want to go down and up. You want to go up and down.
No,
yeah.
No, you got to think ahead.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I never did it.
Never did the down and up. I remember years ago. 100 years ago, moving to LA, and I did one of those hikes to go see the waterfalls. And didn't realize it was a down and up. And I'm not a hiker, so I didn't even know that was something you were supposed to check out. And we did this long hike. And then on the way back up, we were crying. And like, we're just going to die here. We're just going to live here on the side of the mountain because we can't get all the way up to the top to get back to our car.
No, you have to pay attention. And I learned that lesson kayaking because I remember I kayaked a lot in LA, but it was all ocean kayaking. And when I moved to DC, I went kayaking and I'd made the mistake of kayaking down the river first, and then I had to kayak back against the river back up to where I had got, and that was hard. I was like, nope, kayak up first. You can learn the lesson one way or another. I got my workout though.
Well, you got your workout in, and I went to the gym today, so I'm pretty proud of myself because that means I went once this week, and it's Monday. So.
And it's only Monday.
It's only Monday.
Well, I'll check in with you later in the week and see how many times you've gone.
Sounds good.
I'm sure you will go a lot.
And we still need to come out there to go to the pool, so let's arrange that before the kids go back to school because that would be nice.
Yeah. We haven't been back, but obviously we were in England for a while, so when it's this hot, you're kind of like, I'm just going to stay inside. You get really lazy, unfortunately. So motivation will be you guys coming out and we'll do it.
So let's make a plan for it so we can do it and we have no excuse. Sound good? Sounds good.
Sounds good.
Okay, until the next time, Tanya.
Bye. Thank you for listening to another episode of Our Spain.
We really appreciate all the support we have received since we started this podcast.
Visit ourspain.com for transcripts to this and our other episodes, some exciting merchandise, and if you are so inclined, there is also a link to buy us a coffee, which helps support this fun endeavor.
And please follow us on Instagram and YouTube at Spain Podcast. And don't forget to subscribe to us wherever you're listening.
It really helps us stay connected, and we'd love to hear from you.
Let us know if there's any topics you would like for us to talk about. Even though we are happy to talk about anything, we also want to make sure it's informative for you.
Exactly.